Ben O'Connor, great to talk to you. Head of the Munster Championship. As a player, the Munster Championship was always very special, but now as an inter-county manager, what are the feelings and emotions as you head into it?
Yeah, I suppose for my own play, this was a brilliant day out. Going to Thurles for matches, going to Limerick. I suppose they were in here. We were our only venues because just capacities. But no, we always look forward to it. First round championship in Thurles was one of the places to be like. But I suppose now that we've come to the other side of the sideline, I suppose there's a bit more on it. As in, when you were playing, you only had to worry about yourself, get your gear on the bus and turn up and think about your own things. Whereas there's a lot going on in this gig now, but we've great back room with us, and it just makes it easier. And can't wait for it really. We've next 3 weeks we've Tip, and then we've Limerick here, and now we'll break in after that. But look, the next 3 weeks are 3 massive weeks for Cork.
And these are the days that hurling fans live for. These are the days that hurling inter-county players and managers also live for. This is what you signed up for, and you want to be part of it. Can I just ask you, since you've taken the job, you've seen it as a player, you've seen the hype and how sometimes the hype can get out of control, and how every game's either a disaster or it's fantastic. There's very little middle ground. Are you enjoying it? Is it something you've been able to actually enjoy, or are you just so focused on it like that there's straight out of the league, straight into Munster?
No, you have to be able to enjoy it, and I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying meeting the lads every night. I'm enjoying meeting the people in the back room every night. Once we go in there, we're inside the bubble, and people say that's a bit of a cliche now, but it isn't. We go in there and we've nothing else in our mind only Cork hurling, and everyone that's involved, from the players to the back room, they're all Cork supporters at the end of the day, and they do anything for Cork hurling. So it just makes it easier when you're going to a happy group like that. And look, just take it from the players' point of view, no one gets carried away, no one gets too high, no one gets too low. We go up to training tomorrow night, and there'll be some fella putting the flash of his back, and if he thinks he was a cock of the walk before that, he'll be putting the flash of the back and his back down to earth again. So that's the way to move. And we have a great squad at the moment that are, I'm going to say great squad of group for training, and they're all driving each other on. So no, we're delighted with the way things are going at the moment.
Yeah, we spoke to John Cleary about the footballers. One of the big bonuses for him coming out of the National League, and I asked him, I said, picking the squad for the first round of the Munster Championship is not an easy thing for you. There's an awful lot of options available to you. You're in the same boat, but these are the kind of problems a manager likes to have, like that, as you said in the training sessions, everybody's putting their hand up. You can see the rise and the consistency. I think this year is the one good thing. It didn't get over the line against Limerick last day, but the consistent level of performance. How happy are you with that, and how happy are you with the options that you now have since the start of the year?
Yeah, well, I think it's very hard to pick the 26, and look, I get the horrible job of going about the 11 fellas that won't make the 26, and even the fellas didn't make the 26 aren't happy that they're not on the 15, so it is constant that way. But fellas know that you'll be picked on form at training, and fellas, we have fellas training hard every night. So as you see for the league matches this year, we've made a good few changes for a lot of matches, and I don't think that our performance has dropped by changing fellas. So it just shows that there is competition there. But I suppose it is more serious now that you're into the championship. They're all along you, probably more willing to make a few changes and try out things, whereas from now on, it's cutthroat and there's no second chance at this. Look, obviously we want to win the Munster Championship, same as we want to win everything else. We wanted to win the league, didn't win that, but the main thing is to get out of Munster, to be in 1, 2 or 3, and just to be moving on to the All-Ireland series.
You had some great days as a player against Tip, but there was always an electric atmosphere no matter where it was played, either in Tip or in here. It's going to be a fantastic atmosphere again in the opening round in that famous stadium. Heading into it, you're in off the field from our point of view, the media. You look like you're in a healthy position in that you've got a consistent level of performance. You got to a National League final, and as you said, you came away with everything you wanted out of the league, bar the cup at the very end of it. Tip, though, you have to go up. Am I right in saying it's not a cliche? You've got to go up another level now because it's Munster Championship, but you've got time to get into place what you want the players to do come that day, because you're facing Tip. You know Liam Cahill. You know the challenge that lies ahead. How intense does the training have to go up, or are you at a level where it's just a gradual process before you hit that game?
No, the championship, you have to go up a level again. You have to go up a level again because there'll be more expected of you. There's more pressure on as well, so you have to be at the pitch of it when you land over in Thurles. But look, we'll have no problem with that. The heavy defeat in last year's All-Ireland final, that's last year, but that'll be something that'll motivate fellas. If any fella was getting ahead of himself, that'll be there to ground us.
playing in the Munster Championship, the other side of it is it's so intense and it comes so quickly. You do get a break in the middle of it, but getting the players up to pitch and getting them at the right level for the first day especially, I don't think that's going to be an issue. It has been an issue since you took over. The dangers as well, something that we spoke about, John Cleary, is your squad becomes hugely important over the next couple of weeks. You're going to pick up injuries. People are going to pick up injuries, just part of the game in Munster hurling. How happy are you with the depth that you've built? Because it was one of the big challenges coming in straight away. You know, you're going to have to add a few players. Some of the guys that have come in, like William Buckley, other guys like that, Barry Walsh, have put their hand up and shown that they can do it at this level. And I would imagine that's been a huge boon for you and the backroom team.
Yeah, look, we had a few changes to the panel from last year, and every field that we brought in has kind of stepped up to the mark, and we've been lucky that way. As you're on about injuries, sure, look, you're going to play 2 weeks in a row. You're surely going to pick up some couple of injuries, so I suppose that's the carrot for a lot of fellas, that if I don't make the 26 today, I have a chance of getting on the next day, depending on injury and performances. But look, at the end of the day, if we're short some fella, next man in, and he's shoulder to the wheel, that's the way we're operating. We've, as I said, we've panel 37, and number 37 is important to us as number one is competition in the group, and no fear if a fella's out that, oh, we'll short this fella, we're missing this fella. We've plenty of competition in that group, and what's more, we've plenty of faith in the fellas that we're bringing.
Ben, can you switch off from this job since you took it? Is there an opportunity when you get home? I asked Pat Ryan the same thing after about 6 months of the job, because it's full on. It's full on. It's everything. You're steeped in Cork hurling. You're steeped. You've always been. It's part of your life. It's in your blood, and that's not even a cliche. But for such a high intensity job, are you able to, once training is over and you get home, are you able to switch off, or are you just on from the moment you sign on the dotted line and that's it?
You're thinking about it a lot of the time. Even though you're standing around home, sitting around home, you're thinking about different things, different scenarios. But everyone has their job in this group. So, like, once I give, say, Paul, the nutritionist, he'll be talking to the lads, that's boxed off.
Okay.
John has media boxed off.
Yeah.
Derek with logistics. Just so once everyone's doing their job, physios, and everyone's doing their job, there's constant contact, so it makes it a lot easier. And I suppose to answer your question, then when you're at home, you have 3 small ones at home, so it is easy enough to switch off at times because there's a lot more going on at home. Look, they're made for poking around at home, so you get called every evening now that the weather will be getting a little better out for us, so it is great. And look, they're made for it as well at home, so it does help. But it's just that once every fella in the group is doing their job, it just makes it easier. You don't want to be dealing with problems, and thankfully we don't have any of them.
Just finally, the support that you've gotten since you walked in the door, it's been unreal. There's a huge swell and groundswell of support that was there before you got there, and you would have seen it yourself, even under 20 level. Like, people in Cork absolutely love their hurling. They're willing you to do well. They want you to go and win that All-Ireland. I know you want to do the exact same. Have you been taken aback, though, even at the level of support and how intense it is and how much you need them now the next day against Tip?
Yeah, I suppose it's frightening to see. Like, you go up to Galway and you have half the crowd in Galway. You go down to Kilkenny and you have more than half the crowd down there. You're filling out this place for league matches here. We had a match that didn't mean much at the end of the league against Offaly because they were out of it, and we were more or less guaranteed the league final. And you have 20,000 people to come and watch it, like, so it is unbelievable. But I suppose that drives on the lads as well. They do, and in fairness to the lads, they're very good. You see them there after the matches, no one walks off the field until every last autograph is signed or jersey is signed. The boys, they do stay out, and it is a bit of a chore. And there's no point saying otherwise, it is a bit of a chore, but in fairness to them, every one of them stay out and they'll sign away, like, so it's a great sign of fellas. It just shows the respect that they have for our fans.
Excellent stuff. Best luck in the Munster Championship. Remember, in the big revenge.
Cheers.